Batman. I'm not wearing hockey pads. Hey, movie fans, and welcome back again to another edition of Rick's Flicks Reviews. Today, Batman, the Killing Joke. So, Batman, the Killing Joke is one of the latest adaptations from the Batman universe into the Warner Brothers animation, DC animation, which, in my opinion, tend to be the best. They are closer to the tone of the comics, and truer. They don't change things that much. And my favorite Superman movies, for example, have always been the animated versions. And in this version of the Batman universe, we get one of the most iconic and one of the most remembered stories in comic books, which is that of the Killing Joke, the Joker. And we pretty much see the origins of, without spoiling too much, one of the characters in Batman lore. So today we're going to look at the good, the bad, and everything that we can about this particular movie. Now, first of all, remember, this movie was set to be released straight to DVD, but because it's such an iconic story, such a love story by the Batman fans, um, it got a theater release. So I had a chance to go and check it out in theaters, and well, this is what I thought. First of all, the if you're expecting a straight panel to panel translation from comic book to film, you're not going to get that. And for those Batman fans who have already seen it, you're going to be like, what? Even the movie stars like, this is not the movie that you thought you were going to see, or this is not the way the story was going to start, or something like that. I only saw it once. But yeah, in the beginning, I'm like, yeah, this is not the story I was expecting to see. The actual Killing Joke story begins about 25 minutes into the movie because there's this whole introduction to another character in the movie that I understand why it's there, but at the same time, I don't think it had to be there. Uh, so that is probably going to distract you a little bit from the experience. However, on the other hand, if you're just a casual fan and one of your bad friends said, "Hey, let's go check this movie out," and you're like, "All right, let's go," you were probably gonna be like, "Oh, okay. I didn't know that the movie didn't start like that. I didn't know the story didn't start like that. So I'm okay with it." Um, I actually went to see it with a good friend of mine. Um, she has never read a comic book in her life. She did not grow up on comics. She did not know anything about this story. So immediately after the movie, I said, "All right, so what do you think?" So she was like, "I thought it was all right. It was entertaining. I got bored in certain parts of it, but overall, I thought it was all right." And I was like, "All right, good," because in contrast, I got bored with the first part, not because it was bad, but because it was not necessary to the story, because they spent so much time in this introduction that towards the end of the movie, you don't really feel the drama. Um, and I think that was a missed opportunity because they could have used those 30 extra 20 something minutes uh, to build more drama or to see the origins of the Joker because they tried to show the origins of the Joker, but because there's so little time spent on it, in the end, you're like, so how come he's so psychotic? How is he so evil? Because of that? So if they had spent more time building more drama in his backstory, then it would have hit harder. But alas, that's what we got. So I thought that was wasted potential, especially since it was there was so much hype around it that they had a theater release, which is something that's never happened to a Superman animated movie. Of course, don't get me wrong. Even though Superman is my number one guy, Batman is my number two guy, and I do like Batman. It's just I don't like the way Batman has overshadowed pretty much every other character in the DC universe, and they are making Batman superhuman and like he is the reason the whole DC world exists. Like nothing can touch the Batman. He is, say they put in another video, the peak of human performance. Like he's the best a man can aspire to be, and yet he's overshadowing, super powered beings. So don't get me wrong, I'm not hating on Batman. It's just I'm trying to be realistic and put each character where they belong. So with so much hype and with such a cool story to tell, and given the opportunity to go and be released in theaters, at the end the movie's like, all right, the movie's just okay. It's not bad. I'm not saying, hey, don't go see it. No, actually, if you go see it, I'm sure you're gonna have like a good time. Um, but it's not as good as it could have been. So, those being the bad things, the good things is, well, Kevin Conroy, for me, the voice of Batman, along with Tim Daly, the voice of Superman. When it comes to animation, I think these voices are iconic. Kevin Conroy, again, is on point. He is the voice that you recognize as Batman, and is there. His performance is super, super well done throughout the movie. Mark Hamill, amazing, reprising his role as the Joker. Like in the back of my mind, I'm thinking like, that's Mark Hamill. That's Mark Hamill. But I had to remind myself because he completely transforms. There is not a single part of the movie where you go like, I hear Mark Hamill. No, you always hear the Joker. And it was again an amazing performance by Mark Hamill. So those are definitely two big pluses in the movie. However, remember this movie is not for kids, and I know a lot of our subscribers are young kids. Um, don't be disappointed if you are not allowed to go into the theater because some of the themes they touch on it, as well as the comic book did, are very adult themes, and some of those things are not appropriate for younger viewers. All right, so keep that in mind. And if you want to say, "Hey, it's an animated DC movie and it's Batman, and my kid loves Batman, I'm gonna go check it out with him," see it first before you actually show it to your kids because there are adult themes in it. Animation again, there were parts where the animation was really, really well done, really great. Um, and then it looked great on the big screen. And then there were times when the animation was like, meh, just all right, and did not look that good on the big screen. I'm sure it's gonna look fine on your TV, but I think also rather than spending time on building a story that in the end does not add that much to the story, they could have spent it on a little bit of budget for the animation. But hey, I don't want to spoil anything for you. This is a spoil-free review. So if you want to check it out, uh, go see it. My review for the Batman: The Killing Joke is thumb up. It's fun, it's entertaining, it's not perfect. I wish it would have gotten two thumbs up or even a wicked good because it's such an iconic story with so much uh, behind it and there's so much after it that I feel it should have been a better movie, wasted potential, but it's not a bad movie either. All right, it is good, it is fun. You are going to enjoy it if you go. And if you're a Batman fan, you got to put it in your collection. All right, you're probably going to be fully satisfied because it's not the story that you remember from the comic books, but still not a bad movie. All right. So have you seen it? Check it out. Leave a comment down below. Pretty soon we're gonna be having some special promotions, some gifts coming for you. That's right. So make sure you stay tuned here. And if you haven't, check out my review from San Diego Comic Con. The trailers, a lot of trailers to talk about. So I want to talk about that. Make sure that check that video. Click like, share, and subscribe. And again, till next time, I'll see you at the movies.